What'd you get here?
Grande, ice, brown sugar, oat milk shaken espresso, except there was no oat milk. It's whole milk, no cinnamon.
It's loud out there too. They got mowing. It's just loud and overstimulating everywhere. I feel like we should do Millie and then Knox, because Knox, I just have a feeling, is going to be just terrible. I think he's gonna be the worst.
I don't think Millie's gonna care.
That's the thing, and that's kind of why I wanted to put her with Knox, because I think A, they're buddies, and B, I think he's gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
Okay.
He hasn't really made friends as well as the others.
He has now. Like, he was a late bloomer,
Yeah.
but he loves his mama. Hi, babies. Hi. I don't think the moms will care at all. Okay, so it's weaning day part 2, second weaning day. The first one was very anticlimactic, and I hope that today is also anticlimactic. I just don't think it will be. I think that Dallas and Millie are gonna be totally fine. I think that Huckleberry and Knox are just gonna be the tittiest of the babies. That's kind of how we're doing it, is we're gonna do Millie and Knox together. So then it's like chill and crazy. And then Dallas and Huckleberry together, chill and crazy. You know, they each have a sane friend. Now, my prediction could be wrong, and this could not be the way. We have to swap them around, like, who knows. But generally, for those that haven't watched how we wean, we go with the Farmer's Almanac signs. So the Farmer's Almanac, I don't even know how long it's been around. It's been around a minute, and you can look it up for literally anything. You can look it up for the day to get a haircut, day to plant flowers, the day, I mean, there's so many things that it goes by, like the moon and all kinds, I don't know. But it's worked with weaning to where over the years, I'm being for real, Nate. We gotta start taking some of that out.
She told me to take that cough out. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, don't do it.
And I'm being for real.
The Farmer's Almanac, we've noticed such a huge difference when we use it versus not using it. And what I mean by that is when we don't use it, the babies fret longer, the moms care, the babies sometimes will like work themselves up and like try to get to their mom, and it's just like a whole big thing. Whereas when we do it with the Farmer's Almanac, and you know, we wait until we see that the babies aren't hanging out with their moms all the time, the moms are done. Like yesterday I watched Annie like absolutely wallop Huckleberry when he tried to nurse her, like kicked the crap out of him. So we also wait for those signs as well. Like that's why we're doing it this month versus last month. But essentially we're gonna go with the Farmer's Almanac signs. We're gonna take mama and baby, walk them in, put baby in stall, and then take mom away and put her in another stall. The reason we do this is because at 5 to 7 months, they are able to be, not drinking mom's milk as a big part of their diet. A lot of our, like in the wild, they might wean them at 6 months, they might wean them at 9 months, they might let their daughters continue nursing for a lot longer. It just depends on the mare. We don't have the luxury of just being able to let them do it themselves, unfortunately. Like that's just, we don't have that big of area of land. This is widely practiced with domesticated horses. So this is what has worked for a really, really long time. And long term, these horses, like I'm not joking you, if you watch part 1, within a day they are fine and they are chill. And like the babies from last weaning, which was about 2 months ago, I bring their moms by them when I'm riding them, like Kennedy and Ethel. The babies don't even care. They don't even talk to them. They don't look at them. Like Ginger doesn't care about Ted. So anyway, now let's get into weaning. I think because they're standing right here, we're gonna start with Gracie and Knox, and I think he's gonna be the worst. That's my prediction, and I hate it, but we'll see. So Happy last year, I don't think cared when we weaned Howie. Howie definitely, it was Howie and Fred, I think, were the titty babies. You can go actually watch last year's weaning if you want. We've weaned, I think on camera, I think this is our 3rd foaling season, weaning. So Rachel just gave Happy some ulcer guard. We wanna make sure that their bellies stay nice and calm throughout this and they don't get stressed out. We did the same for Miss Millie. Gracie's upset. She wants to come in right now, so we're having to like block her off because she's used to coming in first, but we really just thought Millie coming in first would be better for Knox. So basically we're gonna take them through the bottom of the barn, we're going to, I mean, honestly, when we used to have not very many babies, it was so easy because we would use this big stall that has this run, and we would just walk baby in, continue to walk mom. The setup we have right now, we're using the temporary stalls out in the arena because A, they're farther away, so the mamas and babies can't really hear each other as well, which seems to help. But also, we just have a lot more horses than we used to, so. We'll go take a look at the other weanlings that have been weaned for like 2 months at this point as well, just to show how chill they are. We're gonna do a part 2 of this video in the same video, like 2 days later by putting them out with all of the weanlings. So she's gonna go in there, and then Happy's gonna go to her stall upstairs. Now, the big thing that we make sure we do for safety is we block where they can't put their heads through the window like normal. So generally we have it to where they can hang their heads out. Even though our moms are usually so chill, we keep them from, like if they did go crazy, they can't try to jump through the door. And same for the babies. You have like a solid wall. And then also, like right here, these bars, A, they're high, they're not very wide, so it'd be very difficult for them to get like a foot hung in there. So things like that you need to think of.
I watched Alice in Wonderland the other day, like the realistic version. Have you watched that?
No.
Oh, well, there's this part in it where this guy, his name is like Stain, I think. He's like the Red Queen's like love interest, evil love interest, and he's like, there's like a scene where Alice like eats too much of the cake and she gets really big, and they think her name is and he's like, I like largeness. That's what I just thought about when you said Sophie was big.
Now, Happy pretty much was like, where's my grain? And then we took the grain out because we significantly decreased the amount of grain the moms eat for a bit. A, so they're not stressing with a bunch of grain in their belly, but also so that they slowly stop producing milk. You don't want to keep giving them the calories to produce that milk. So we'll cut them back off of alfalfa, off of grain for a while until they dry up. You don't want to create mastitis issues. And so we took the grain out, and she was like, and then just standing there looking at like where the grain's supposed to be. I don't think she really cared that her baby wasn't there. What is this white on his butt?
It's just a little spot.
Is that a white spot?
Yeah. Yep.
Is it pink skin? We need to look. We need to shave it. If it's pink skin, he's double registered. We gotta check and see if maybe it's just rubbing then, because he looks like he rubbed it. Because if it's pink skin, he could be double registered. That would be some craziness. If he could be double registered. Okay, look at, again, gigantic baby. Look how cute. Also look at those cute little white spots. Little like matching booty spots. Millie's like, it's a trap! Don't fall for it.
Can I have someone hold Gracie?
Yeah.
Don't bite me.
Easy, big boy.
Whoa.
Good boy. I'm shocked. Okay, and she's kicking at him now. I'm proud. This is so loud. So we have never weaned a baby from Phoebe, so I'm very curious. I don't think she's gonna care though. And out of the first 2 babies, who I thought was gonna be brave was not. And I keep talking that I think Dallas is gonna be brave. So we'll see. I think there is also something to be said about like the brave babies got put in by themselves, and then the babies that we took in afterwards have a buddy immediately. You know, we gotta be fair. Okay, it's so loud out right now. Like there's just so much going on. I think there is something to be said about like Millie got out here by herself and Knox had a friend. Now next door, there are friends, you can hear them, and we're about to go get Huckleberry, and he's gonna be with you. He went to go get food immediately. I think there is something to be said that we put the brave babies in first, and so then the babies that we didn't think are gonna be brave, had a friend immediately when they get into the stall. So I think that does make a difference. Unfortunately, somebody's gotta be first. Millie. I think she had started eating because she's got a mouthful of food, and then we walked by and she's like, ah! You know.
Soaring, flying, there's not a star in heaven that we can't reach. If we're trying, then we're breaking free.
I gotta take this off. You gotta re-mic me. I'm just getting hot. New stuff. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you about it yet, but it's some new stuff.
Kind of an athletic moment.
The shirt? Oh, I've never been called athletic before. Nate just called me athletic. That's never been said by any human about me. Last one is Annie.
That'd be
So Annie's had one
crazy.
baby in the past. She did not care when we weaned, but her babies tend to be titty babies. So you two are so sweet to the babies as they walk by. Good boy. You have a friend now, Dallas. Where's he at? He's right here. He drank some water. That's good. We want you to drink all kinds of water. We want you to stay hydrated. You can have hay. We're not going to do grain for a little bit. So Dallas, you're being very good. And so are you, Huckleberry. You're being very good.
What's the one? Wait. Everybody's always talking at me. Everybody's trying to get in my head. I'm trying to listen to my own heart talking. Need to count on myself instead. Did you ever lose yourself to get what you want? Did you ever get on a ride then wanna get off? Let go. Wait. Did you ever let go? Did you ever not know? Never gonna stop. That is my plan. Give it all I got. That is my plan. Okay, I'm done. This sand.
It's thicker sand.
It is.
Both babies that we said were going to be the brave ones. But I also want to give them the benefit of the doubt that we put it on them to be brave. And then we put them in first. So they had like a good 5 minutes of being by themselves. That's scary.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, we need to give them a little break. But the other two that we thought were gonna be like really, really upset they're pretty chill, honestly. Like we can take some video of them a little bit. Like we thought Knox and Huckleberry were gonna be the worst ones. And honestly, they're like, that was Knox. He just had a little nervous poop and he just whinnied. But like what I wanna hammer in is that them whinnying and walking around calmly, that's not a bad weaning. That's a very successful weaning, and we will continue to watch them. But a bad weaning, and luckily I've not seen this in person, I've just been told horror stories, is like you wean them, the baby's trying to come through like the stall front or the window, or they're like trying to climb the walls, they're throwing themselves against the walls, they're like, that's when it's horrible. And mom doing the same. That's when it's like, okay, it becomes dangerous and you might consider like trying something else. Like these babies just, ow, ow, ow. God, I'm being attacked. These babies, you know, they're whinnying a bit, and that's to be expected. You're really not gonna have babies and moms that like never whinny. Like it's just gonna happen. But like right now, Knox is eating. I've watched them all drink. We gave them all UltraGuard. We're gonna leave them up for probably a day or two and then put them out in the arena so that they can, you know, clean and whatnot. We'll wait until they've really settled down to put them out in the arena. And then we're gonna put them out with their buddies. And before we do that, I do wanna just go peek out there at the 3 weanlings, since one's already gone to her home, and just show how like, they're chill, they're fine. they're pretty good with their situation. So, Zelda, stop attacking people. Stop. Kind of the same thing I was talking about the babies. Like 3 of the mamas are just eating and don't care. Phoebe, who like I said, we haven't had experience with, she's a little bit more nervous. Things we're gonna watch out for. We're gonna watch out for, we're giving her electrolytes preemptively to make sure that she's drinking and stays hydrated. We are going to watch to make sure that she starts eating here soon. We would like for the weaving to stop, so we're gonna make sure she doesn't get excessively sweaty. We are gonna make sure she doesn't have diarrhea because you don't wanna let that go. So we would probably, you know, combat that with like biosponge or something to firm up her poop, something for her gut. So there's lots of things to do. Honestly, like her weaving a smidge right now doesn't bother me. We're gonna be checking on her very frequently. So we'll give you an update on that. Let's go just check on the other babies and then it'll be a couple days from now. So this is gonna be so anticlimactic. You're gonna be like, wow, so boring. We're gonna show you the 3 babies. So Ruby already went to her new home. You can actually follow Ruby as she grows up because her owner shares her on social media. So Madeline Redline has her. You can watch her on Facebook and TikTok. So we're really excited about her. She's settled into her new home beautifully. And then 3 of the babies that are still here, that are out here right now, only 1 of them I'm keeping. So Noelle has a new home. Ted has a new home. Ted and Huckleberry are going to go to the same place because they're going to the same trainer. Noelle is going to go to her new home in the next few weeks, and then everybody else I'm keeping. So let me just look at them. You just go through the fence. They're pretty anticlimactic. They just kind of hang out and eat grass.
Boring.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. They don't care. All right, and now it's been 2 days later. So the weanlings have honestly been doing fine. And we want to bring 2 at a time out here to join the first round of weanlings. Again, if you haven't watched the first round, that was a couple of months ago, you can watch that video. We'll link it in the description. But these guys, I mean, again, it's been 2 months. So Noelle, Kirby, and Ted. Ruby was out here, but she's already gone to her new home. They're chill. So I think they're going to be a really good, I don't know, like little mentors for the second round of weanlings. I think they're gonna be like, hey, you're gonna be fine, you know, that kind of deal. So we're gonna bring the boys out first. We're gonna do Huckleberry and Dallas and let them chill before we bring out Knox and Millie. All right, brave boys coming out. Huckleberry on the left, Dallas on the right. I think they'll be okay. They're walking so good. Go see them. You got friends over there. You haven't seen them in a while. They literally don't even care. They haven't even picked their heads up. Kirby, come be nice to them. We're gonna probably give them a little bit before we do Millie and Knox. Noelle, you're the oldest. Come be nice. Give them the little like welcoming, like tell them like, hey, you'll be fine. We're all good. This is a new adventure. You know, give them some encouragement. They're like, no, we're just gonna stand in the corner, actually. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, Dallas is being the first brave one. And you'll notice they might be a little ribby right now because they haven't been getting grain. Oh, are you immediately scratching her? Oh, he's clacking. He said, I'm sorry, a baby. She's also a baby, Huckleberry, okay? They will probably do a lap or 2. They'll get them going. Oh, are you clacking now, Dallas? They're your friends. Do you not remember them? They're so funny. Seeing them all together is one of my favorite things. They are stuck together like glue. Are we good? Do you want your other friends to come in here? I think you're chill enough, honestly. Okay, well, let's do Millie and Knox. He's already talking. Oh yeah, Knox was already whinnying.
I think they're gonna be chiller.
You think?
Yeah.
We'll see. I do think them being introduced is going to cause a very slow-legged stampede, like a Western pleasure stampede.
Yeah.
All right, Dallas, come on. 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 Come Hey buds, your friends are here. Come say hi. Show them that it's not scary. Oh, Knox is scared. Knox is very scared. I think Millie is actually gonna handle this okay. I think Kirby's definitely coming in a little hot. All right, that's a really pretty group of babies right there. Huckleberry, don't get everybody stirred up. He just has to go talk to Millie. Knox, what are you thinking? We're all good. Noelle, again, you're the oldest. Go sort everybody out. There we go, the slowest legged Western Pleasure Stampede. Not for all of them though. It seems that the older ones, they're kind of refraining. It's just the newbies. They said they needed to take a little lap. Huckleberry's in the lead, Millie behind. Look, not a whole lot of energy in this group, not gonna lie. That was the most floaty, just like, oh, we're so frantic as they in slow motion run through the field. I think the one that just wants to make friends is Huckleberry. He is clacking to everyone and being submissive to everybody. Oh, that was not nice, Knox. But I also think that just happened to him, so he might just think that's what you do in here, you know? Noelle, I told you you're the oldest. Go handle these babies. She got a little belly. Okay, honestly, this was great. Like, if all we're gonna get is one slow-mo lap around the place, cool. A couple kicks, they can handle it. So I do think it's so important for young horses to live in herds and to form that herd dynamic, because, you know, some people have their own theories on things, but my show horses go outside, they go in pastures. I like for my show horses to be able to have friends and to respect boundaries of other horses, and they're gonna be in spaces with other horses. So I think this is so important for their development. I think this is wildly successful for 2 days after weaning, and yeah, I just couldn't be happier. So we're gonna keep a close eye on them. We're continuing to give them ulcer medication. We'll slowly reintroduce alfalfa in their feed over the next few days, and then they'll all just get to go out here all day together and hang out, and they don't really have a job for a while. So hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions. Go check out the new merch in the KVS merch store. That's katievanslyke.net, and I'll see you in the next one. But this pretty much concludes the 2025 foaling season, which is crazy. So